Hi, my name is Dominik, and today I'll be telling you about my hobby and interest, which is keeping and maintaining vivaria. Now, a vivarium is an enclosed area for keeping and raising animals or plants. Now, today we'll be looking at the two main types of vivaria, which are aquariums and terrariums. The first record of fish keeping was 4,500 years ago, and the first glass aquarium was created by French naturalist Jean Villepreux. Aquarium keeping was, however, popularized by the British in 1850. It became a useful way to study nature. Now, of course, modern-day aquariums are a lot more complicated than just a ceramic bowl with water, fish, and plants. You need to consider many things when creating an aquarium, such as lighting, temperature, salinity, filtering, and using non-toxic materials. Even plastics can be toxic to aquatic animals. Now, of course, something very important in any vivarium is waste management. Aquariums go through something known as the nitrogen cycle, where fish waste produces ammonia. That ammonia is then converted into nitrites by a species of bacteria. Nitrites are even more toxic, but those nitrites are then converted into nitrates by a different type of bacteria, which can be absorbed by, and those nitrates can be absorbed by plants or through frequent water changes. Now, another thing you have to consider in an aquarium is its bioload. The bioload is the amount of life inside your aquarium, and if that bioload is too high, then your creatures can suffocate from too little oxygen or too much waste. It requires a lot of balancing, especially when you have many different kinds of organisms. Now, terrariums, on the other hand, you have to consider a whole different list of things, such as the soil, the humidity, the temperature, the light, and whether you want a fully sealed terrarium. Now, the first terrarium was created by Nathaniel Bagshaw Ward in 1842. In his book On the Growth of Plants in Closely Glazed Cases, he talks about how he discovered that you can trap the water cycle inside a glass case. As the water condenses, it can be used to water the plants again. And so he created the first self-contained terrarium, which kept his plants away from outside contaminants. When it comes to waste management inside terrariums, this usually involves other organisms, such as the ones on screen, or fungi. Now, these organisms help convert decaying matter into things plants can use again, and are very helpful, especially if you have a larger organism, such as a reptile, which produces a lot of waste inside your terrarium. This, however, is an example of a very simple terrarium, which only has spiderwort inside it. This terrarium has not been watered for 53 years, the first time, and then it was sealed. The water evaporates, condenses at the top, and waters the spiderwort all over again, and the decaying leaves produce enough CO2 for the plant to breathe. This, however, on the last slide, is an example of a paludarium, half aquarium, half terrarium. And for me, the idea of keeping and maintaining vivaria is so special because it's like you're creating a tiny planet inside glass. You get to watch these ecosystems thrive, change, and evolve in ways you couldn't even predict. And to me, that is just incredibly fascinating. Thank you for listening to my presentation.